once again, giving all praises to
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash.
So, you know what I found out?
So,
They told him that Trump, his health is not doing well. Like he's deteriorating. That's why he's been wearing like makeup on his hands.
I noticed that.
Yeah. So
It's no surprise. Like, how old is he? Like, how old can he have in the liver spots, the varicose veins and shit?
yeah, so he's got to move fast. He's got to move quick. 'Cause he's like the head of the movement. You know what I'm saying? So if he, let's say like transitions, then who's gonna take over?
JD Vance.
Yeah.
I saw that.
That's how that works. The vice president takes over. It's either he lives or he dies.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised JD Vance is an even bigger devil than Trump.
But either way, like he helped kick the movement off. You know what I'm saying? With the MAGA and all that stuff. So
Yeah, he got a crew behind him.
exactly. Now you can come through.
I saw that video you did, bro.
It's immaculate, right?
It's like, there's no such thing as coincidences. If you believe in coincidences, you're just gullible. Like, all of this shit lines up for a reason. He was breathing loud. There was some precepts that came on. Start at 2 Thessalonians, chapter 8. This is 2 Thessalonians, or Salakia. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And you see, like, with the invention of the internet, Esau, Edom, and the top wicked elite, they're being exposed all day long. You can't go on the internet without the top wicked elite being exposed for the fraud they commit here in America, and how they took advantage of the people, and ultimately how they created this whole system that we all live in. The top wicked elite, the little hats, they're responsible for all that's wrong with the world. There's no coincidence that the Federal Reserve and the IRS were created in the same year. Like, that's not a coincidence at all. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And that's Esau for you, deceiving people. Here it is, because at first when they introduced the thought of taking money out your check, that was to fund the war. I believe it was World War I. No, World War II, excuse me. It was used.
Income tax.
Yeah, income tax. It was used to fund World War II. They said it was only supposed to be a temporary thing.
Yeah.
But yet, here we are today in 2025, and you still got money coming out your check.
But then they covered it up. Like, you know what? Well, we're taxing you. We're taking your money. So they started setting up like social security. That's going to be part of like your retirement plan, which that wasn't even always a thing either.
Right.
But you look at it like social security, like it's nothing. You can't live off that when you retire.
Especially not now.
So they're just taking money out your check up front, and it maybe when you're 65 or 70, whatever age it is now, then you'll be able to collect a little bit of that.
That shit is crazy to me. It makes no sense how, 365 days, every pay period, they taking money out your check, and then in top of the year, you might get a little something back. And then some people, shit, you still owe. They've been taking money from you all year long and you still owe. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, people should be rioting in the streets in America.
You know what this system has done is just lock people to sleep. You know, you give people the mirth, the entertainment, and that just be enough for them.
Even that's on the decline.
Exactly.
Shit is boring now. Ever since the P. Diddy hit in 2020, everything has been on a decline. Just the spirit of the earth, everything just ain't it no more. Food don't taste the same. You know, the bread and circus just ain't the same. Last verse. 2 Thessalonians 2:11. It says that for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Listen.
Ecclesiasticus 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So the sooner you get this truth, really the better off you are setting yourself up in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Verse 2, while the sun and the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, and the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because there are few. Right? Because now we're living in a time where people is getting laid off from their jobs, left and right. You know what I'm saying? We heard about how over 300,000 black women lost their jobs working for the government.
Yeah, I think last week I said 30,000. It was 300,000.
Yeah. And that's supposed to be like a secure job sector, you know, working for the government or the state. But look how that works. And then various agencies are getting their funding cut. You know what I'm saying? So this administration is really affecting people's lives across the board. Yet this is what people voted for.
That's that strong delusion.
Right. Continuing on, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, because they don't see a future in America. Like the future's looking grim. Like they don't understand like how the next generation to come is gonna be able to make a way. I mean, how? Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And you were saying how even like since 2020 nothing feels the same. Right. Well, you can also make the argument that since 2020 music has been steadily on the decline. Really the industry as a whole. You know, they're saying now that there ain't no money in music. So if you want to pursue a career in music, you're not going to make money. You're going to go negative. The only way you make money is if you tour. That's why people like Beyonce, they always steady going on tour. Because they got to pay for that $80 million mansion that they're living over there in California or somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So we're living in a pivotal time.
Not everybody can see it. It's like, how can you not see the times that we're living in? Like, how can you not tell this is the end?
I know.
Like, this place is through. Nobody got money. 75% of Americans don't even have $1,000 in their bank account. Like, there's nothing left here. You one crisis away from losing everything you had.
This is Isaiah 24 and 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, and no man may come in. That city of confusion is Babylon the Great, aka America. Verse 11. There is a crying for wine in the streets, meaning that you have people crying for answers, looking after, the news, seeing if they're gonna get answer as to why things are the way that they are in this society, or if things is gonna get better. But we're here to tell you that this place is just on a decline, a steady decline.
There's nothing to look forward to. This place is done and it's never coming back. So just get that through your skull. This place is over.
There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Mirth meaning the entertainment. Because now we're seeing our entertainment is like, that's not even enough. It's coming to the point where that's not even enough to help you
Cope.
help you cope or be distracted from the reality of our living situation. If you even want to call it living.
Shit, even a little thing like cable is a luxury.
Even cable is fading because, I mean, cable had a great run.
Yeah.
You know, prior to like streaming, you know, cable was where it was at. But when all these streaming platforms came out, like, it caused like a scatter. You had to go here or there to watch this show or this movie, you know what I'm saying? Pay this subscription fee and that. But that, all it really did was just make a way for other corporations to make some money. You know what I'm saying? People can invest into that stock and then they make some money when the stock goes up. Stuff really doesn't matter at the end of the day.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1. I'll start at the 18th verse. It says, "For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved is it the power of the Most High. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent." And what's the wisdom of the wise? You go to school, you graduate high school, then you go to college, you get a college debt, you work a job, then you go get your White House picket fence, wife, children. Maybe you take a vacation once a year, save up for your 401k, retire, sell your home, then hopefully you made some equity out of the home. Now you and your wife downsize, you pay for your children's college. Like, all of this stuff just isn't realistic anymore, at all.
And you know what? The whole concept of it is based off you trading your time for money. So you mean to tell me that your life isn't worth more than $50 an hour, $70 an hour? You know what I'm saying? And then as time goes on, that $70 or $50 that you might be making an hour, it's not getting you as far. Like, think, you go to the grocery store, you could buy 5 things, 7 things, and that alone comes out
$50.
Yeah, $50, $60. So you mean to tell me that an hour of your life was just able to get you those few little objects?
Don't let it have to be like your toiletries, like soap and stuff. That's when they get real expensive.
So you're basically trading your time, the time of your life, for basic necessities of life.
That's all you really deduced to here in America under capitalism. You're only worth as much as you can make for somebody. That's all of our realities here, because we all have to work.
And the worst is when you have a minimum wage job.
Disrespectful.
They,
you don't
they
work,
pay
you don't
less
eat.
if they could.
Word. If you don't work, you don't eat.
If they had it their way, they'd be back to the 1700s. They could be working for free.
This is 1 Corinthians 1:19. It says, "For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and I will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent." Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Hath not the Most High made foolish the wisdom of this world?
Yeah, the wisdom of this world. Because it may seem as though it's like a status symbol having a college degree, or you're doing something with your life. But we're gonna see how all of that is just vanity once AI comes in. Once all hell breaks loose. Because how is your college degree gonna save you then? And then jobs, they're saying that just AI, like, it's eliminating hundreds and thousands of jobs by the year.
Right.
And they're saying by within the next 1 to 5 years, like 70% of jobs is going to be gone. They're going to be dissipated. And I wonder what industries that's going to affect. Most likely, it's going to be these comfy desk jobs that predominantly these women have, or white men have, working in white corporate America.
It's going to invade all industries. Like if we here long enough, you're not even going to have doctors doing surgeons doing like surgery anymore. It's going to be AI doing cutting people open and removing shit out of them.
Which the whole point of getting that college degree was for you to get into white corporate America.
Right.
So with there being less jobs within certain industries, it's like what is your degree gonna do for you? Like how is it gonna serve you?
Only jobs you're gonna be seeing still, that's still like are necessary is gonna be, you know, like your garbage men, COs, jobs like that.
But they can come up with robots to replace people for that too.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to, I'm sure. But I think it's just gonna come down to like the jobs that are like needed for people to like be there like completely. But yeah, maybe it could be like a guard. You go back to the ancient world, you know, you actually had to be a live person, a live pulse at the site, you know, keeping watch. You know, which that's sort of what a police officer or a correction officer is.
Yeah, those are gonna be the only jobs I can think that would still be necessary. Anything that could be done through a computer screen, your job is on the line. That's 1 Corinthians 1:22. No, Salakia. 21. It says, for after that, in the wisdom of the Most High, the world by wisdom knew not the Most High. It pleased the Most High by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. And out here, what we're doing, you could say, is the foolishness of preaching. Because imagine, you know, like when you hear us speaking, we're talking about how America is going to be destroyed and how the top wicked elite want to implement a chip inside everyone, and how the elect are going to be saved through a spaceship, a UFO, a chariot. You know, to the average person that doesn't have the eye salve, that sounds crazy. It sounds foolish. Nonetheless, it's the truth.
I be wanting to like cut to the chase with people sometimes. Like I be wanting to tell them like, when the Mark of the Beast comes out, don't take it. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's the least they could not do.
That's the best news you could give anyone. Because it's not like they know what it is. When it come out, they're not gonna know what it is. You're gonna have the few that do, but most people, they just gonna take it because it's gonna be the status quo. How else am I gonna eat?
Because if I give you the prophecy on that, then you might believe me on everything else I've been saying.
They're not gonna
that's
believe
definitely
it.
coming to pass. Revelation 13 and 16.
Yeah, they're not gonna believe it until it's actually here. Like when it's on breaking news, like when it's on all the news stations, like how it was with the C Diddy, and you had to go get that, you know, that snake sauce.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that same thing. They're not gonna see it until it's already here. Like,
The thing about it is like the technology is like already like on the scene. Like with Swift, I did a video on that like months ago about Swift. It's an acronym, and so it has to do with like the banking and transaction system. So that's Swift system has to be rolled out throughout various businesses around the country, so that when you go to the store, your shit registers. So I'd imagine that when the MOTB does come out, it's gonna be like a time of normalcy, or at least they're gonna sell it to you as a way to get back to a time of normalcy. Just like with the jab. Remember when that came out? People was like, well, if you don't want to stand on a line, if you want your life to go back to normal, if you want to be able to qualify for a job, you got to take the jump shot.
22nd verse. It says, for the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom. And again, the Greeks, it's talking about, the Israelite Gentiles, This is Corinthians, so that's what it's talking about.
The Greeks seek after wisdom because you had Israelites that were in a Gentile state of mind, and their way of seeking after wisdom was, following Greek philosophies, dealing with what is it, astrology? Yeah, astrology, or worshiping, whatever god there is,
Yeah, they got so many. God this, God that. It says, but we preach Yahushua Hamashiach crucified, unto the Jews a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks foolishness.
Yeah, because, the gospel of the kingdom of heaven being established on earth, and who's going to be king over the kingdom of heaven, it's just considered like worthless to some people, and they're already dealing with the particular doctrine, because once people are set into their ways, it's hard to change them.
Yeah, got that Muslim demon on it, right? That Allah demon.
So that's why a lot of the time, most of the time, it's best to just leave people where they're at. Like, don't try to change people. Just let them be.
It's worthless.
Because if you try to tell a Christian, that the missiles is gonna drop on Babylon the Great, and that Yahushua is a black man, he's coming back on a big gigantic UFO. Oh, did you hear about how there's a UFO the size of the sun that's headed towards the Earth?
Oh shit! I hear about that.
NASA called it.
Wow.
Yeah, NASA said it.
Wow.
So that's the fathership right there, on his way to Earth. So that might just be taken as a sign for us that, our deliverance is near.
Right.
That's Yahushua's ship.
It's gotta be, because all the elect, they gonna get beamed up all into one ship, so it gotta be massive.
And how many square miles is the United States? I'm not even so sure off the top of my head, but it's vast. So you're gonna need like a huge, gigantic spaceship in order for the elect to get beamed up. Or in one ship, and that's the prophecy or the vision that Hedges had, talking about how he saw a mountain in the sky. How do you see a mountain in the sky just flying?
Right.
That's
what else could that be?
Yeah, that's like a euphemism or a metaphor for the UFO or the UAP. I veered off the path. What was I saying before? You remember?
The 23rd verse again. It says, but we preach Yahushua Mashiach crucified, unto the Jews a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks foolishness. But unto them which are called, both Jews and Greeks, Yahushua Mashiach, the power of the Most High.
So we have the ultimate knowledge, like the ultimate understanding. All these other religions and philosophies, or a college degree, or institution, it don't matter at the end of the day. That's what I was saying.
It says, but unto them which are called both Jews and Greeks, Yahushua Mashiach, the power of the Most High, and the wisdom of the Most High. It says, because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. And here we are, with no might in our hands, gotta work bullshit jobs for bullshit pay, just live this bullshit life.
I'd rather just get paid for existing.
But at the end of the day, we have the greatest knowledge there is to have. There's nothing anybody could say to come up against this truth. You're gonna get cut. whether it be Christianity, your philosophy of Christianity, the Big Bang, the Lord came to save everybody. We can cut all of that. We have the not greatest knowledge of the world. We literally have all the answers. Go ask Pastor these questions. He's not gonna have nothing for you. It says, but God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and God has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty, and base things of the world and things which are despised hath God chosen.
Yeah, and that's us. That's the doctrine that we possess. This world hates the light.
It says, ye, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are, that no flesh should glory in his presence, but of him are ye in Yahweh Shai, who of the Most High is made unto us wisdom, and righteousness, and sanctification, and redemption, that according as it is written, he that glorieth, let him glory in the Lord. That's it.
I got some. St. John 3:19. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be manifest, that they are wrought into the Most High Yahweh. So it's like this: when you do good, you receive good. When you do bad, you receive bad. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's how it is. Now, there are instances where people live wickedly or they're corrupt and they have that prosperity or that joy, but it's only for a little moment. I mean, would you rather have like a more substantial longevity, or would you rather just be able to prosper for the moment, but then eventually fall off down the line? I mean, I think the answer to that is obvious. So it's like that with us with the truth. Like, yeah, it's not really paying off right now. We still have to suffer. We still have to endure. But all of this is going to be worth it once the kingdom of heaven is set up. Remaining in this faith, keeping the faith. Not falling off. You know what I'm saying? Just enduring the fire and the temptation. It's all going to be worth it at the end of the day for us.
What else are we going to do? Take our own lives? Or try and forward your life here in America knowing it's going to be destroyed and that there's nothing left for us? Like, so what else we going to do? At least here, bringing out the word and trusting in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, we have hope. You people, y'all got hope in this system that's crashing right before your eyes, day by day.
And it's like, we're built to last. When I say we, I'm talking about like the Israelite man. The so-called black man is built to last. Because think about how we've been sabotaged in a society. And we're still here. You still have a remnant of people that try to live righteously, that try to do good, that try to change their ways and their lifestyle.
We have all these snares that's just put before us, Esau coming up against us. He uses our woman to come up against us. But yet we still wake up and do what we gotta do day by day. Like, it can't be nothing but the spirit. Like, for generation to generation.
Exactly. Like, think about that. We don't even have our own women. They're against us.
Right.
That's how you mess up a family structure.
You get to the woman, it's like a trickle-down effect. You could ruin you really break a man down completely. Really just break down, just the whole, not even just the man itself, but just the structure of a man, woman, and child. Like they completely eradicated that.
Because even though like the situation is fucked up, like you're not seeing men running around crying or complaining like that about how our women is hoes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? However, you got women that are going on the internet making videos talking about how, oh, I want my bills paid. I'm looking for a man that can do this for me, do that for me. But you don't see no men doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's because the Israelite man is strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of dudes have just arrived to the conclusion that it's just better off to stay single doing your own thing. You know, forget trying to make a family. Forget trying to find a wife. Forget all of that because it's not worth it at the end of the day. Because if you do get that, then what? You gotta give all your time to a female. You gotta hang out with her.
Right.
You don't even want to hang out with her like that. You know what I'm saying?
Like the Apostle Paul said, like, women are a distraction. It don't matter, even if she's a righteous woman, she could be a fucking virgin. She requires attention.
Yeah, and your resources.
Right.
Like your money, she want that as well.
She requires, time, attention, resources. So imagine that's even a perfect woman. And none of us are dealing with any perfect women here.
And mind you, you're giving all that to a woman that's already been around the block.
Exactly. Where it's not even worth it. It'll never feel worth it.
Yeah, it'll never be the way that you want it to be.
That's another reason why we just gotta get out of here. Because as a man, like you said, we're strong. We have the understanding that nobody is coming to save them. Us.
Exactly.
Women, they want somebody to come and save them. Here it is, you've been around the block with this man, and then you dealing with the man you're dealing with now, and you expect him to do things for you that no man prior did for you. It's like we get what's left of you. It's not like we got the best of you. We get what's left of you.
You got it?
No, I got it.
This is 1 Peter 1:13. Wherefore, gird up your loins Wherefore, gird up the loins of your minds. Be sober and hope to the end for the grace that is be brought unto you at the revelation of the Mashiach Yahushua. So you gotta be strong, not only psychologically and mentally, but also like physically as well. Because everything is connected. Like, if your body is off, then your mind is gonna be off. If your mind is thrown off, then your body's gonna be thrown off. So that's why a lot of dudes in this modern day era of 2025, they just locking in and doing their own thing, just focusing on personal growth, going to the gym, stacking paper, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even, becoming more intelligent, which in our case, us becoming more intelligent is, abiding in the knowledge that is true. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes you might read a book. There's nothing wrong with that. So dudes is basically just doing their own thing, focusing on themselves. Because like you said, ain't nobody coming to save a man.
At all. And we understand that. Women, they just can't understand that. It's like they sold their best asset for the lowest man, and now the man they dealing with, they want the world from him.
And their best asset was a token of their virginity.
Right.
That's why a lot of these women are cooked. Don't try to change them. Just leave them be.
It's like when women, they're just so used to dealing with simps. So when they deal with a man of the Lord, they don't know what they to deal with. Like they can't fathom a man like this. They're so used to dealing with simps.
Yeah, and then when they do run across a guy that's righteous, it doesn't coincide with their spirit. They start wrestling. They fight against it. Even though deep down they know, like, yo, I need this stability. I need a man to help guide me, help keep me steady.
I need a man that's gonna tell me no. Yeah. These dudes out here, it's like they make their life's will to make a woman happy. And that's to no avail. Like that's impossible.
And I would say that, like, yeah, probably 99% of women, I'll say it's that high of a percentage, they're not intellectual, they're not intelligent. They're airheads, they're low vibration.
It's because they just move off their feelings.
Yeah, they're whimsical. Right. meaning that they're just given to any sudden change of their emotion. So if something sounds good to them in the moment, they'll go with that. But then next week, they'll change their mind. Like, you know what? This sounds better.
Like if you see a woman that's just been left up to her own devices for years, she ain't right. And even a woman that has, because a woman with a man is better than a woman without one. Even if it's a man that's not of the faith, he's just a man in the world, they still better off.
That's supposed to be the essence of a woman, is to serve their man, their husband.
Right.
You know, that's how it was supposed to be.
But the serpent, he plagued their mind into that, get that bag, chase the bag, because life is so hard here. They're so fixated on making money.
Which is also tied to feminism.
Like, that's so unattractive. A woman that's just so concerned with money.
Because what's wrong with having a husband, a righteous husband that guides you in the right direction, that's gonna do right by you.
Right.
But the society has twisted it and sold you the idea that you don't need a man. Be strong and independent. Well, let's see how that works. We're actually seeing how it's going for you, and it's not going well. Especially in this economy, you're over here struggling, you can't even pay your rent, you're in student debt crisis.
These women, they look at a low vibrational man as a prize. The nigga could be a whole scammer. They feel like they got something because he got some money. Here it is, this man, he don't want to work, he don't want to do nothing. His job is taking other people's money that do work. That's what he does. But to a woman, she found like she got something because he has the bag. This is 1 Kings chapter 2, I'll start at the top. It says, now the days of David drew nigh, that he should die. And he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong therefore, and show thyself a man. And keep the charge of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments, and his judgments, and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself. And you see, that's the mindset you have to have here as a man. You see, like, just focus on yourself and try your best to walk in the ways that pleases Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. You can't lose that way. When you're trying to put a woman first, you're going off. That's woman worship. And you're going to lose every time. Here it is, you're going to put this woman that's been with other men before you, her spirit is totally off. Before the Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. That's why you see men walking around here depressed, because they put a woman before themselves.
Yeah, like Jaheim. Put that woman first.
Just
It's
depressed.
terrible advice.
It says, and keep the charge of the Lord Yahweh thy power. Also like your fourth verse. It says that the Lord Yahweh may continue his word which he spake concerning me, saying, if thy children take heed to their way, to walk before me in truth, with all their heart and with all their soul, there shall not fail thee, said he, a man of the throne of Israel. So again, when you keep the main thing, the Heavenly Father Yahweh, then his Son Yahweh Shai, and then you can't lose.
Yeah, because you put all your trust and faith into anything besides what you just named, you're just going to end up disappointed. That's why a lot of men, they've just checked out. They've checked out of the dating scene.
This is Isaiah 46 and 8. It says, remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me. That's it.
Summer, can I cross there?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Sí, señora.
Thank you.
First Corinthians 7. This is First Corinthians chapter 7. I'll start at the top. It says, "Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife."
Why you read that?
Really, the second verse. It says, "Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife,
They don't like that.
and let every woman have her own husband." And here it is in this setup. Your woman is not really your woman. Because if she's been with a man other than you, the man she was first with, technically by the law, that's her husband. But you know, we're not under the law here in this setup because the Lord knows the subjection that we're under and how we're not right and our women aren't right either. But in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to get it all back. Where your woman is actually your woman. She knows how to serve you. Here, you be dealing with a woman and a demon will just jump out of her. You're like, where the fuck did that come from? And that was one of the men she was with before you. That spirit rubbed off on her. I remember.
She had a flashback back to her last nigga.
Right.
And then something you might have did may have triggered her.
Right.
It's psychology.
Right. Here it is. She got that man's semen on her brain. That man's semen residue on her brain. Cause you know, women, they're not really into condoms. They eased up on that. It says, "Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife hath not power over her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband hath no power over his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one another, defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinence." I made the point. I could really read this whole right there. Yeah, that's the point.
Let's get back to prophecy.
Oh, I had a. Oh yeah, Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 60. I'll start at the top. It says, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee." And we are examples of the Lord's glory coming again, you know, shining upon the earth. Here it is, these people, they have no idea what the word of the Lord really says, and we're out here giving all the answers. We got literally all the answers. But how many people are really inquiring? It says, "And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising." And again, the Gentiles is talking about Israelite Gentiles in a Gentile state of mind. It says, "Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee."
Yeah, the abundance of the sea, meaning the people. So it's like we're gonna be able to like establish our family tree. You're gonna be hitting up this woman, She's gonna be your wife. You gonna have another wife. She may live in another region, another country. You know what I'm saying? But hey, baby, I'm not gonna see you today. But I'll see you tomorrow because you're gonna be with your other bitch.
And she's gonna be completely fine with that
She's not gonna give you no pushback.
at all. And they're all gonna be virgins. Every woman that you're gonna have sex with in the kingdom of heaven is gonna be a virgin. She's gonna be all yours. Like, and she's gonna be bad, like,
She's gonna be your type.
right.
Because you're gonna have options. You're gonna be able to just pick and choose what you want.
Right. Like, we will never hear the word no in the kingdom of heaven. Like, can you even fathom that?
We're gonna be having our way.
Like, we're gonna be beyond blessed. Like,
We're gonna be having our way.
that's why it's not worth selling out to just stay here in America where we have nothing anyway. Like, you're gonna sell out, you're gonna take that MOTB to stay here.
You're gonna
Get
you're gonna
destroyed
trade
here.
riches, get rich, just to have some chick that's not loyal to you.
Just with you to see what she can get out of you.
I mean, I'm watching people get divorced left and right in this society. And they be rich men.
Yeah, you'll be a fool to get married in this setup.
So if the money's not enough, then what is?
Right.
Because it's always the idea in a woman's mind, not to still harp on this topic, that she can do better than you or that she's always gonna have options. But the reality of it is, like, men age like wine, and then women, they have a shelf life. It's just facts. It's just facts. I mean, it's to the point now where it's like, if you're 25 plus, you over 25, and you're still single, that's a red flag. Especially if you look decent,
Or
like, that's a red flag.
that's you just trying to get the best man, just holding out, jumping
Because
from
if he
man
was
to man.
really good like that, you'd be off the market.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Men don't let good things get away. Like, if you was if a man noticed you and you was like, and you was actually a pleasure to be with, he'll snatch you right up.
But it's not even always the man's fault. It be like the women, like you said, like they be wanting everything.
Right. But
They
all
be,
for
they
nothing.
be they be in their own way.
So Isaiah 60:4 it says, "Lift up thine eyes round about, and see, all they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee."
Yeah, and you're also gonna have slave servants. You know, you're gonna have maids. Your women are gonna have maids. You know, they complain now how they don't want to cook, they don't want to clean. All right, well, fine. If you don't want to do that, then you can at least have somebody that's under you that's gonna do that for me. You know what I'm saying? But it's better that women have their minds occupied with like a skill or a trade anyway. You know, especially when you're like of the elite and you're rich and you got nothing but time. Like if you don't have to work a job, then you got to do something with your time. You got to balance it. So why not learn up a skill? And that skill could be cooking. Learn your man's favorite recipes.
Be scrolling Instagram and TikTok all day.
Yeah, and that's the social media era that we live in today. Like, that's another reason why like relationships is like stagnant or they fail nowadays. Like because of the illusion of having options and choices due to social media. Like this social media era, it really helped kill dating.
This is Matthew 5, and I'll start at the 14th verse. It says, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid." It says, "Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven."
Yeah, and our light is His truth. You know, us deciphering the scriptures and prophecy, us telling everybody who they really are, whether you're an Israelite or whether you're not an Israelite. because ultimately the light is the truth. And a lot of people, they get blinded by the truth because they're just so accustomed to darkness. They don't like the truth. They don't like that light. They rather just remain ignorant because they say that ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, they don't see it as light right now because the way things are, you know, shit didn't hit the fan yet. But when shit hits the fan and all hell breaks loose, the MOTB is implemented, we're in Jacob's trouble. They're gonna see like, oh, those men were right, you know? They're gonna know like, oh, they had it all along. Like, that's when it's gonna be light and like in a dark place.
Since you said that, this is Isaiah 33 and 6. Yeah, 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So, when all hell breaks loose, when Jacob's trouble comes to pass, which we're seeing how Jacob's trouble, like the stage is being set for that.
Right.
Like a lot of people, they're not gonna see it coming. Like, a lot of people right now, they're being rocked to sleep. Like, you seeing how your rights is getting violated left and right, Constitution is being violated. So that should let you know that when the time of martial law comes, or when a Black Swan event takes place, like it's just gonna be all out chaos. Like every man for themselves. So therefore, you don't want to be caught lacking. Like you want to have that knowledge and that stability to help you maneuver through the situation.
The spiritual armor, you know, that breastplate of righteousness. Matthew 5 and 16.
Because didn't they say that they're deploying like over like I think 1,000 troops in like 19 different states? So what's up with that? That's just, to me, if you ask me, it's like a test run. Like they're seeing how it's gonna go, like logistically, like if they're gonna be able to, like, you know, put troops in each state or particular places at a time for when they really need to, or maybe that's their way of like getting ready.
Yeah.
You know?
Sound like martial law to me.
Maybe they know something we don't, the elites, because you know they plan like in advance, and they don't tell like the average person what they're getting ready to do. You just got to be able to see the writings on the wall. And we see the writing on the wall. You know, you got people that are doomsday preppers telling you to like stack up on food, stack up on water, stack up on supplies, be able to go a year. But I mean, that's not going to really save you, because what did we just read?
It's really not.
Isaiah 33 and 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. And fear of the Lord is his treasure. So you gotta have the Most High on your side in order to make it through times like that.
I'm telling you, shit is going to be so bad. Faith is gonna be the only thing that gets you through. There's not gonna be enough preparation in the world. Like,
Yeah, it's gonna be to the point where you're just gonna have to leave it up to the Most High.
right.
Because you can have, you know, supplies stacked up, but then you'll be making yourself a target. Once you have that supplies, you start cooking, and the people around you, they smell it, they're gonna be like vultures. You're gonna draw attention to yourself.
Yeah.
So how we're gonna make it, I mean, it's like you just said, like you're just gonna have to have that faith, and we're gonna have to leave it up to the Most High, because we believe that we're gonna be in abundance. Like our joy is gonna be in abundance in those times. Like that's when we're gonna be the happiest.
Right. Since you said that. This is Isaiah 65 and 13. It says, therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit.
I'll be wondering. I'm like, yo, like, how's the Most High gonna do this? Like, how's he gonna do it? Is he just gonna like bring an angel to us and just drop us off food, or are we gonna have spiritual power? We're gonna be able to like prepare with food in the palm of our hands.
You might just have a pot, you open a pot and there's food in the pot. Like, be like, yo, like, and we gonna know, like, we gonna be praising the Lord. Like, that's gonna be the, because we know, wow, like, the Lord is with us. That's when you're gonna really start rejoicing, where it's like, wow, like, there's food in this pot. Like,
Yeah.
and we all know at that time who did it.
Right.
Like, wow, the Lord is really with us. Like,
Because think about it, in a time of societal collapse, where you can't just go to the grocery store, like how are you going to manage? You might be locked up in a jail cell.
right.
Or you may just end up dying and your head chopped off.
Which is really a reality that you gotta be ready to face. Like,
Exactly. So there's about like 3 different scenarios in which this thing can go, maybe more. And that's just, your destiny that's gonna have to be revealed to you in due time. And if anything, that should be what like makes you perturbed. Like that suspense might get to you, because you don't know how you're gonna go out. But just know when those times come, like yo, just be ready for whatever. And be happy too. Because then you know that you're close to the end and the salvation is near. You can't wait for all hell to break loose, man. We always talk about that.
this is Hebrews 12:4. It says, ye have not resisted unto blood, striving against sin, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
Yeah, that's like the life story of every Jake. You know what I'm saying? Like the people on this sign have always been like underrated. Always been kept down and oppressed. But you know how the movie goes. The main character struggles, and in the end, they come out on top. So that's Israel.
Right. Like it said, you have not resisted unto blood. There hasn't been a scenario where we are actually faced with life or death. Like, the times that we're coming into, you gotta be ready to sacrifice your life for what it is you say you believe in.
And then the only way you're gonna be able to do that and embrace that is if you hate your life.
Right. Right.
If you love your life, you go, you know what, I'm trying to keep my life, I'm trying to hold on to this. A lot of you niggas, the problem is you love it here. You wanna stay here.
You can tell too. When niggas be talking about how much we got longer, they be talking about 10 years, 15 years, 20 years.
1,000 years.
You niggas love it here.
1,000 years, really?
This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 11. It says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. So again, this precepts all throughout the Bible. Like, there's a real reality that you might have to sacrifice your life for this faith, for what it is you say you believe in. And the only way you're gonna be able to do that is through faith, like Yahweh did. He had faith. And ultimately, that's what we're gonna have to have in the time to come. If there's a little ounce of you that likes this place or thinks there's something left for you here, you're not gonna be able to do it. You're gonna cop out and you're gonna take that chip. All it's gonna take is a little bit of doubt in Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. You're gonna take that chip.
another scripture. This is 2 Peter 3 and 12. Looking forward and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So you should be looking forward to the day of the Lord. You know, we certainly do. But those that really like it here, they want to stay here, they're hoping that that day never comes, or they still care about it. You know what I'm saying? They think that this is as good as it gets. And for some people, this is as good as it gets. If you're an Edomite, this is your world. Live it up. This is your time. So you don't want the Most High to come back.
At all.
You don't want him to send his son. Because then that's going to mean that you're going to fall.
And the top wicked elite know that. You low-level white people down here with us might not know that. But the powers that be that have control over all our lives, they know that.
These low-level, typically everyday Edomites, they're too occupied in politics.
Right. Looking at the minorities.
They really believe the government runs the way that it's said to run.
Like this is really a democracy. Shit. You Edomites low level. I'm gonna just read this real quick.
Yeah, we can close on that.
This is Matthew 16 and 25. It says, For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. See, that's the ultimately the mindset you have to have. Fuck America. Fuck Babylon the Great and all its riches. Because all you see here in America is shiny toys. Things that you want in your flesh wants. But really, it benefits you none. The only thing that benefits you is Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai and the knowledge. Because that's going to be the only way you're going to make it out of here. You see, the top wicked elite, they don't have a chariot for you to escape in.
Or doomsday bunker for you to reside in.
Yeah, they're not gonna leave the door open. Here, come in, hurry up. Like, they're gonna close the door on you.
But the scriptures say how the elect, they're gonna go around collecting them from their doomsday bunkers anyway.
Right. So again, when you put Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai first, you're ultimately gonna get the victory. Whether you make it here on the first run, you get saved up in them chariots, or you get destroyed here, if you're an Israelite, you're gonna be alright. But ultimately, who wants to burn by nuclear fire? Like, who wants to die of starvation? Like, it's best to just get right now and get the reward. Like, Lord's will, we have the chosen.
And you don't want to be short-sighted. So with that, we're gonna close. Shalom.
Shalom.
Until next time.